apart from the back and forth over the issue of where PVCs were taken to or were not taken to, now, do you think that the issue of parties resuming campaign confers an advantage in any way?
Yes, it can only be in the best interest of the whole process, for it to be credible, because that 1 week will be a week of disconnect between the voters, and the political parties, and more people are likely going to, feel disinterested, in voting, and because of that, it will lead to voters' apathy. We are already in trouble over turnout on voting day, so there is no reason why we should create a situation, particularly this situation we found ourselves in, has been created by INEC, not by the APC, not by the PDP, but INEC. They have brought sole responsibility for the postponement, as far as I'm concerned. So given that situation, it is not too much to be expected that INEC, in the first instance, should allow the political parties to continue to campaign in line with the law. At the same time, I think the Director of Voters Education in INEC also has a responsibility to ensure that they sensitize the public, maybe through the press, maybe through the civil society organization. They could get busy over this last 1 week in order to ensure that at least more voters turn out rather than having voters.
Let me put you on pause because I understand that Terry is now available to speak with us. Terry, good evening.
Hi, Ladi, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Right. You were covering the APC's meetings today. So what was the high point? What was the high point of today's meeting?
Ladi, I'm sure by now you also know, it's easy to state that the president's statement when he said that anyone who gets involved in electoral violence will be dealt with ruthlessly, where he went further to say that he has instructed the security agencies and anyone who gets involved in ballot box snatching of any sort might have to pay with their life. That definitely is the high point of the meeting today, and it's got quite a lot of reactions. You've had people question whether or not it's such a magnanimous offense, such a humongous offense to warrant the capital punishment. Some have also questioned if that's something that could be easily declared. There's a process for electoral offenses. You get you are arrested, you're prosecuted, and so some persons have questioned that process. So definitely that was the high point of the event today.
Terry, I mean, you were in the room with them. You know the mood and the feelings of those who spoke throughout that meeting. Does the party still have confidence that the umpire can conduct this in a free, fair, and transparent manner?
I'd say it's a mixed one. I say that because in one breath, the party is asking INEC to redeploy some of the recs, saying that some of the recs have spent so much time in a particular location and they're very familiar with that location, so it will be very difficult for them not to be biased, so to speak. And at the same time, the party is saying that it will be difficult for any rigging to take place. We also had the former governor, Gotul Akpabio, say that the party's followership is so huge, so there will be no way that rigging could be possible. But to clearly state that the APC has confidence in INEC was something I didn't pick out today.
And concerning the resumption of campaigns, given the fact that INEC now says that campaigns can resume, it would appear as if the APC had determined it was going to go ahead anyway. But now that it has official permission, do you have any idea what form did it come up at the meetings? What form this would take, when, or any of the details?
Oh yes, I think it's safe to even say that the main purpose of this meeting today was to clearly state that the APC would go ahead with its campaigns. In fact, the national chairman of the party said in clear terms that without consulting INEC, the APC would go ahead with its campaigns. And he used the medium to call on all the party faithful across all the leadership, the leadership across the various levels of the party, to go ahead and sensitize, to begin the campaign. Now, what he said was the reason behind asking for a resumption of campaigns was that the time gap would be too much. to not sensitize their supporters, and that could lead to low voter turnout. So yes, the APC has already stated clearly that it will go ahead with campaigns.
But well, beyond talking about the voters in that way, in turnout, did you get any feelers of whether they're worried at all about PVC collection, or was it just about them when they can continue to do this campaigning? But did they say anything, you know, in that regard? Even looking at the states that are APC-controlled states, did they say anything about PVC collection and whether it worries them about that?
No, I don't think PVC collection came out today. But if I go straight to the question of whether or not they're worried, the APC didn't show any sign of worry today. We're quite confident. In fact, the president said that after going across the 36 states of the Federation and receiving so much love, in his own words, he said in clear terms that he has no worries about these elections and he will definitely be winning the elections. So fear is definitely did not come up today.
All right, then, Terry, thank you so much for the update. Terry Ikumi, our correspondent covering at the APC, giving us the very latest from there, late into the night. We trust it will probably be a late night for you, Terry. Thank you so much for that. And we return to the studios here. We're waiting to hear, of course, from Kayla Megwa in a short while. We'll be waiting for that. But in the meantime, let's return to you, Mr.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to say was that someone on social media seems to agree with you, and he said that he does not think that the PVC collection got to the ward level, as the National Commissioner was saying there, and he says that perhaps he's not in touch with what's going on really in the field. We'll let him respond to that as well.
Yeah, but first, can you give some examples, though?
Look, the viewers know the truth about this. For instance, I registered at Ikosi Ward, and I was told to go to Ogudu local government headquarters. That was where I collected it. It took me 3 days. I went on 3 different occasions. Okay, fine. The advantage of Lagos, you know, the proximity of where I registered and where I collected, you know, it was in my favor. But look at the plight of the vast majority of our people. Nigeria is a huge country. And in some local governments, you will need to travel from one town, you know, about 30, 40 kilometers before you get to the local government headquarters. There are so many reports. I don't know whether Mr. Ozaze will agree with me. You must have seen them in the media when people would go to the place from morning till evening. They still cannot get the PVC and they will end up going back home. So how can people reasonably be expected to put up with the pains of that and also the economic cost of going to collect what's brought to them, you know, at their ward level?